Okay, in this video, I'm going to demo how you can take, for example, if you have come across a product you'd like to promote, and you're like, oh, this is a great product. I've got, I've got a blog for this, or articles for this, or I'll write about this, and you sign up for their affiliate program, say on ClickBank or something, and you go to their affiliate resources area, and you realize they have no banners, and you're thinking, oh, okay, well, I'd really love to have some banners. This is kind of a pain. Um, I know what that's like. So I have to create banners all the time for products I put together that use ClickBank, vendors. So I'm just going to go through and show you how you can take some of these banner elements and create your own banners in relatively short amount of time using the free online editor Pixlr.com. Okay, so I'm going to use this blog as an example. Okay, this banner I created because this particular product had no banners, but they had an ebook graphic. So I thought, okay, as you can see, it's a pretty simple banner, and it's relatively effective because the ebook graphic is nice enough looking. Mentions what it's about a little bit. Designer wholesale sources. So I just created a title. Now I did this in Photoshop, but I'm going to show you how to do something very similar in Pixlr. Okay, um, but this is creating your own banner, but it's using one of the bonus graphics, which is a set of different blank banner graphics. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, first thing I'm going to do is right-click and save this image to my desktop because I'm going to use it as a reference. Um, I'm using it as a reference, but this is the whole point of this video is to show you that if you don't have, if the vendor or the product you're trying to promote doesn't have a banner, don't worry too much because you can create your own. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and click this uh, product, click the banner to this product, and turn that outrageous music down if you heard that. And I'm going to scroll down till okay, there's the ebook. So I'm going to go ahead and right click this. So this is as if you came to this site and you're like, okay, this is a great product I want to promote, but they don't have banners. What am I going to do? Okay, I'll create my own. Here's their ebook. So I'll go ahead and save this image as well to my desktop. Okay, so inside pixlr.com/editor, we're going to go ahead and open an image from my computer. And the first one I'm going to open is this particular banner because I'm going to use this as an example. Okay, but when I created this, I didn't have an example, but just showing you how easy it is to create your own graphic, your own banner. I'm going to open image again, or you can just do Control O, and I'm going to grab that ebook. Okay, so say I needed to have a 300 by 250 banner for my sidebar, then I'm going to do Control N for a new image, or just select that. And the nice thing about Pixlr is they've already got sizes pre-made, that are common banner sizes. So you got 250 by 300. I'm going to name this similar to the name of the product that I'm going to promote, just so I can easily reference what this banner is about. Okay, so designer wholesale sources, and I always put the 300 by 250 if that's the size, just to kind of remind me of, when I'm looking at this image on my desktop, the title of the image, I go, okay, that's for this product, and it's 300 by 250. But you can, of course, name it anything you want. Okay, so we've got the 300 by 250 size, and first thing I'm going to do is go to the ebook layer or file, and you're going to see this little lock icon. I'm going to double click that to unlock it. I'm going to do Control A to highlight the entire graphic, then Control C, and you see it says copy. And then in my new banner, blank banner here, I'm going to do Control V, which is paste. And again, that's Control C to copy, Control V to paste, and Control A will select all. Okay, so I don't need this banner now. And again, I'm just using this as a reference guide. But now that I've got this ebook graphic, I'm going to do Control T or free transform. Okay, so Control T, and I'm just going to hold the Shift key, grab one of the corners, so that I'm resizing while keeping the aspect ratio. If I didn't hold the Shift key, then it could get all wonky, and you don't want an ebook looking like that because it just looks like poor quality. So you hold your Shift key down, and I'm just going to resize it to where I think it's roughly the same size as this example banner over here. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not too worried about perfection by any means. I want it big enough so people can kind of read that, and then you just hit Enter. Now I'm going to do Control O or File Open Image, and I'm going to go back to my image, my banner graphics, click on Bonuses and Blank Buttons, and I'm just going to look for a button that's similar to that one. Doesn't have to be exact. Again, I'm not too worried about that. I think I'm going to go for this button here. It's got a little arrow on it, and again, this layer seems to already be unlocked, so I'm just going to do Control A to select all, Control C to copy, go back to my new banner I'm working on, and Control V for victory to paste, and I'm going to put the button right there. Now you might need to go back to this, oops, and do Control T again, and just shrink it down a tiny bit, just so it's not too cramped with that button. Click Enter. Actually, let me try moving it first. Okay, Control T, just shrink it down a little bit. You know, you don't need to spend too much time on that. I don't need this banner, or sorry, this button graphic anymore. And then I'll just click on my button layer if I want to move it. And of course, I'm using the Move tool. And looks like that's pretty good. Now I'm going to put some text on there. Now I can say click here and copy that. I could say learn more. I could say buy now. I could say get info. You know, you don't have a lot of room for text, but I'm just going to keep it simple and type click here. So I'm going to type, looks like it's all caps, click here, and I want to increase that size a bit, maybe to about 19 pixels. You can always type in the pixels too, and I'm going to go with bold, and I want to make that color white. So, oops, so if I grab this inner ring, and I go up to the white corner, or I type in F 6 times. Okay, click OK, and again, go back to the Move tool, and let's just kind of move that into place. Now, if you want to create sort of like a little drop shadow, like you see here, that kind of black line, if you will, you could easily do that simply by dragging this down to the layers icon. As you can see, the new layer pops up, and that's the copy of my white text. I'm just going to drag it underneath. I'm going to turn off the current white, the top layer white text. So I'm on this bottom layer. Looks a bit weird how it's kind of, and I'm going to go back to the T tool, the text tool, or just click T on your keyboard, and I'm going to change this color to black, or actually maybe like a darkish gray. Okay, so I'm about here on the gray scale. Click OK, and I'll turn this layer back on. I'll go back to my bottom layer. Sorry, I don't know why it's not just saying click here. It looks like something's going on. I want to go back to the Move tool, and I'm just going to use my arrow keys to go down one and to the right one. Or you can go two if you like, you know, or just play with it, maybe like that. But I'm just going to keep it down one to the right one. You know, it just gives a little bit more 3 dimensions. Is it necessary? Probably not. You could just keep you could just have a black, dark colored, you know, click here if you want. I'm just trying to kind of copy this a little bit just to kind of give you an idea, you know, that it's not too difficult to create your own banner. Okay, so now we got designer wholesale sources. I'm not too sure if I can make the designer wholesale sources text have this gradient from a dark brown to a lighter reddish brown, but I'm not too worried about that, to be honest. I'm just going to type in designer wholesale, and because that particular phrase looks larger than the part that says sources, click OK. And then for the color, I'm just going to grab a color from sort of a darkish reddish brown from the book so it kind of matches. And if I feel that's too dark, I can maybe grab a little bit lighter, maybe like that color. Click OK. OK. As a matter of fact, I'm going to grab this and I'm going to take this reddish color and I'm going to do a Control C or right click copy. Click OK. Open up my notepad file and paste that in there because I might need to reference this reddish color, in a minute. Okay, so I've got designer wholesale in text, and I'm just going to use the move tool to kind of position it a little bit. Now I'm going to type sources, and I'm going to bold that, but I'm going to make it slightly smaller just because I'm kind of copying the other one, the banner to the right, and maybe make that 33. And for the color, I'm going to go back to my notepad file and right click or Control C and paste that in here so I've got that same reddish brown color. Just makes it easier. Go back to the move tool, kind of line that up, maybe right justify, so that the E and the S are aligned. Obviously I'm just eyeballing it, but so far so good. And then learn how to buy, so I'm going to go here and I'm going to maybe start with a much smaller font. Let's try 13 and type learn how to buy top designer brands for as much as, okay, I'm going to stop there because that 90% off is a larger font. I'm going to position it. It looks like it could go a little bit higher, and I'm going to use the same color. So I'm going to grab this color again, go back to my text tool, highlight that, and I'm going to change the color first of all. So that reddish brown. And I'm going to make this, let's try 14 pixels. Let's even try 15. See how that looks. That looks pretty good. Okay, again, it's not about being exact. Now I'm going to type 90% off, all caps. And this one I'm going to go for, say, 21 pixels. Let's bold it. And let's try 24 pixels or points. Okay, that looks pretty good. And I'm going to grab this font color again. Click color. Paste that in. Okay, okay. Go back to my move tool. Just kind of line that up so it's sort of left justified, meaning this is all kind of lined up more or less. You can use your arrow keys. I wouldn't worry and get too anal about it. I can get like that sometimes, and but as you can see how this is coming along, it's and then just put retail price. Okay. Again, grab this color, paste it in here. I think that was that 14 pixels? Or was that 15? I keep saying pixels. It could be points. Let's see. Learn how to buy. Yeah, it's 15 pixels. Okay. Right, and then again, you can just kind of line everything up. That might even be a little bit big, but I think that looks fine. I think that looks great. The main thing is communicating to the person who views this banner, designer wholesale sources. That's nice and large. People can see that it's an ebook, so people get the sense that if they go and purchase this product, it's going to be something they download. It's going to be a reference. It's going to be a book, or it's going to be, a large file of resources, etc. Learn how to buy top designer brands for as much as 90% off. That's your, that's people are going to see that 90% off. You can make that even bigger if you like. You could even get rid of retail price and just make that really big. For example, I could turn off the layer here, click onto this layer, just hit the T on your keyboard, or go to the text tool and try making that a bit bigger. Maybe 33 pixels for as much as 90% off. Okay, so now you got designer wholesale sources, 90% off. Those are the two things your eye and the ebook are going to notice. So people hopefully will click that. Now, okay, so we've got our new banner. If I wasn't talking throughout this video, what do you think? That would probably take me not even 5 minutes. So you don't have to fear of like, oh no, this product doesn't have any banners. I used to feel like, oh no, I got to do this. I got to spend all this time creating all these banners. But now that I've got these graphic references, buttons and stuff like that, it's a lot easier. It's going to save a lot of time. So there are two things you should do now. Okay, so one is when you click Control Save, I want you to go to PXD layer, because this way you'll be able to save the layered image. Okay, this is only for Pixlr. It's not for Photoshop or any of those. Then you click OK, and then somewhere in your collection, maybe create a new folder. It's up to you, but you've got this designer wholesale sources 300 by 250, so you know what this is about. It's promoting this particular product, and it's a 300 by 250 PXD, which is almost like a Photoshop file, but it's a Pixlr file. Okay, with all your layers. So you just click Save. Okay, now you've saved the layered image. And now what you want to do is either Control S or go back and click Save again and save it as a JPEG. Now, it automatically defaults at like an 80% quality, which is very good. And if you notice, the image is relatively small, 29 kilobytes. If you go all the way to 100, which is the highest quality, it's going to go up to 104 kilobytes. So you're quadrupling, the size of the graphic. Which, for people with really slow broadband connections or dial-up connections, the larger the image size, file size, the slower it can render on someone with the slow, internet connection. Now, most people have good internet connections, but I'm just saying. So you can either go with the 80 default, 80% quality, so to speak, at 29 kilobytes, or if you bump it up to 90, it's going to go from, sorry, what was 80 was 29, so 90 is 41. So it's only 12 more kilobytes compared to 104 kilobytes if you go 100%. So I like to go with about 90. But again, it's up to you. Stick with 80 if you're happy with that. That's fine. The banner's still going to look great. Okay. Then you click OK. And we're going to save this again as the same title, but it's a JPEG. Great. So now you've got, so if you ever wanted to come back here and use this exact same banner, but swap out the text and swap out the ebook for another product you'd like to promote that they don't offer banners, then you can just open this Pixlr file up and have all the different layers, and then save it as a different file. Now, if we go to our JPEG that we just created and saved, here it is here. So that looks fine. That's ready to go up on your blog or give to your affiliates if you want to create, if you have a product and you want to target affiliates and you need to create some banners for them, you can see how easy you can do this all within your browser and even save the layered, Pixlr file. And if we compare that to the other banner, it's not too far off. Okay, so actually if I do this, do extra large icons, we can see here's the one from the blog that I downloaded, and here's the one that we created that's very similar. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful, and I just wanted to show that if you use some of the resources in the bonuses section, such as the blank buttons, then it's real easy to create simple but effective banners. All right, thanks. See you in the next video.